Et voilà, le détour. Et le man waving. Get the fuck out. Alright, welcome to France. I'm after I'm after recording the whole video without turning on my camera. I'm very competent today. It is what it is. So you missed a bit of autobahn, potentially my last bit of autobahn for this trip, and now I'm down into the pissy little roads nobody cares about in France. I got out of Rheinfelden. Rheinfelden was pretty okay. It was the first place I was staying that wasn't touristy at all, or not very. Its main tourist attraction is a salt mine, so that's good crack. When I was in Austria and Germany and all those places, I was in touristy places, and so people would have, obviously German, and even in Italy they had German and a bit of English, so that's not too bad. But hotel I was in Rheinfelden was pretty nice hotel, run by a nice Chinese family, and not a fucking spot of English on them. Grand German, and I have enough German to be getting on with hotel stuff and restaurant stuff, and that's about it. Once there's no fucking follow-up questions, I'm good. Similar to my French is a bit better. I did French in the old Leavensart, which was nearly fucking 30 years ago at this point, so I'm kind of I'm okay with it again once there aren't any follow-up questions. But it was an okay town. Hung around there, doing all the bits. So yeah, now I'm heading towards Dijon, which is directly west of where I was going, and I'm intentionally I'm staying off toll roads, obviously, because toll roads can fuck off. But I was on a few dual carriageways, and I probably will be again, just because that seems to be how it is. Yeah, the trip is kind of progressing nicely because, I'm out of the mountains. I've been in the mountains for the last, 2.5 weeks. And I'm not going to say I'm all mountained out, but I'm mostly mountained out. I could take or leave another mountain pass right now. So I'm going to go down into the flat bits and do a little bit of touring with a bike as opposed to bike touring, if that makes sense. Where I'm going to just sort of go somewhere in the morning, right until about lunchtime, and then be in a place and take a little while doing that, rather than being let's map out a big fucking twisty road that tire myself out for the day. So that's the plan for the next little while. For people counting off at home, I've been out on this tour about 2.5 weeks now. I'm going to be out another week or so, I'd say. I might aim to make it the even month out on the road, but we'll see. As I kind of alluded to previously, I had intended to go further south. I had intended to go to Sardinia for a gathering of people and their relatives, which I'm not going to do anymore, and I haven't really been forthcoming about the reason for that. It's because I felt a bit unwell last week, and so because of the nature of the unwell, I thought it better to show up to a bunch of people's relatives and cough and sneeze on them. So I said, you know what, I'll give that a skip, I'll do something else. And so that'll cut the tour a bit short, both in kilometres wise and time wise, I think, because it would have been 2 or 3 days to get down there and 2 or 3 days to get back here, right? So not too bad, but it's grand. I'm gonna do something. Well, I have been doing something up here. I've been pissing around all the big passes the last little while, and now I'm stuck in traffic in France. But what I am gonna do now, so heading to Dijon today, which is sort of directly west, and I'm gonna head sort of roughly northwestish. I'm gonna stay out of the big French cities, both because I want to, and also you apparently need a fucking emissions sticker, which you can't get here. You have to fucking send off for it, and it takes a month for it to come back. so I'm not going to bother my hole going to go near any cities. It's not every city, but it's like one or two of the cities I was looking at was like, oh yeah, can't ride in there. Okay, not because my bike is emissionsy, but because I don't have a little sticker. So that's a load of bollocks. So I'm gonna probably head northish and stuff like that. One of the sort of points of this trip, aside from bikes is class and I like doing things, is if I could be introspective bike wizard for a little second. COVID hit me pretty fucking hard. I know it hit all of us pretty hard, and it's not considered good manners to say the manner in which COVID hit you hard, because you know some people lost relatives and some people got sick and stayed sick and that sort of stuff. But it hit me pretty hard in a very specific kind of a way, which is that I really internalized the stay at home, don't go anywhere advice, and I kept it up, which means that as things opened up and we were able to travel again and we were out traveling, I'd go somewhere and then like a day or two later I'd start getting really fucking anxious and go, I need to go home, right? And it's not for any rational kind of a reason. That's how anxiety works. It's not rational. It's just your brain starts firing off and saying like no. So that's how it went down. So I had a couple of trips that were cut short over the last year or two where I was just like, I have the opportunity to go home, and I'm going to do it. You know, I'm going to go home because I can. And because I'm sort of fucking anxious and I want to go home, right? And yeah, that's no use. Can't keep that up. So part of this trip was like, I'm gonna go and be gone for like anywhere up to a month, and that's okay. You know, I don't have anything driving me home because again, I'm not working at the moment. I'll probably go find a job when I get home. And you know, I can stay out. You know, I have financial runway to stay out here for a while. I don't have Mrs. Grumpy sitting at home saying, when are you going to be home? I actually was talking to her yesterday and I was like, oh, I might be home mid next week or something, and she's like, really? Not in a like, stay the fuck away, I hate you, but in a like, you said you were going to be out for a while and now you want to go home. I know your little game, mister. So she knows me too well, in a good way. So I'm gonna stay out another while, but I'm out in the mountains now. I'm going to do a little bit of, as I said, touring with a bike rather than bike touring, where I sort of go somewhere and stay somewhere and just kind of see some stuff, do some touristy bits. So yeah, I don't have any mad plans, and maybe I will make fewer videos because the videos that I would make, you know, this is a channel about bikes, and this is not amazing content, you know what I mean, aside from the stuff I'm saying, which of course is amazing content. So we'll see. There's some days where I might just go, do you know what, there was no real bikes happening there, so that's okay. But my general purpose plan is I'm going to head sort of north-ish and take another week or so to get home, you know, and try and get away from the getting up in the morning and looking at Google Maps and saying like I could be home in a day and a half, you know, because I'm getting to that spot where it's just like, even where I am now, if I turned around and fucked straight at Cherbourg, I could be there probably tomorrow, you know. So I'm not going to do that. But again, over the course of this trip, there have been places where my head has gone, I could go home, let me go home. So like when I came off the organised part of the trip, I could have just said, yeah, I'm going to put my bike on this truck and get on the Ryanair flight and go home. You know, I could have done that, and I didn't. I wanted to. Part of my brain did want to. And same when like Mrs. Grumpy came out to Munich for a couple of days, and then after that I could have gone time to head straight home, you know, and it didn't do that either. And it takes a bit of effort because I still have the sort of general purpose anxiety of like, want to go home. So I'm under no illusions that this trip will fix that entirely, but at least it'll give me an opportunity to be like, do you know what? This is it's okay. You can stay out, you can do things, you can allow yourself some crack without thinking about maybe I left the immersion on, so to speak. So let's see how that goes. And so yeah, this is actually my first time riding in or operating any motor vehicle in France. So I wanted to get a sort of a solid day just sitting on B roads like this and seeing what they're like and seeing if that's what I want to keep on doing, or if I'm just going to go, fuck you, I'm going to pay this stupid tax and just go from A to B. This is okay, road quality is okay, scenery is okay. There's obviously a crucial or a huge amount of difference in the scenery between here and like Austria, Germany, etc. They have actually old hedgerows, and it's a lot more like home with like barriers by the road and hedges and trees everywhere, rather than the big sort of broad landscapes in Germany and Austria with just like worked fields right up to the roadside. So it's quite different in that way, but a little more homey. Better route available. Okay. But yeah, my general plan is sort of northish. I wanted to maybe see some of the Normandy stuff just on my way. I realised I could just do that by getting on a boat, but I'm here now. I may end up even heading up to Belgium to see Ypres or Passchendaele or some of those places. I had a great grandfather who was at Passchendaele and came home shell shocked, and I hear the story about it, and I'd kind of like to see some of that. And then I might just kind of take my time heading back towards Cherbourg or even Roscoff. There's a boat to Cork from Roscoff. I've nothing booked, and so every so often I look at okay, what how much are boats, can you book them? And generally it's September, kids are back at school, everyone's already gone on their holidays. If I want to book a boat with a cabin tomorrow, I can probably do it, and so that's cool, that's good. There's a couple of things up there I want to see, but so I'm going to take my time doing it and see what the story is. Yeah, my plan was to do Sardinia, and then maybe go out to Spain, to the Pyrenees, and up and get the boat from Bilbao. But I kind of thought 30 fucking hours on a boat sounds like negative fucking crack. So I said I'm not going to do that. Also, what's the 500 quid to get on that boat right now, like at this kind of notice? So I'm like, fuck it, I'd rather not spend 500 quid and do more bikes. So I'm gonna not go out there and probably get the other idea I had, of course, was do as little boats as possible and get the Channel Tunnel and go across the UK and get the little boat. And then after thinking about that for a second, and you're like, there's nothing in the UK. There's nothing in the UK to see. It'll just be fucking a blast across the motorway, and it'll be a load of bollocks. So where am I going? Am I going this way? Stay on N19. Okay. So yeah, I'll do that. So yeah, I'm gonna go to get the boat from Cherbourg, and I don't know when yet. Maybe like mid to late next week, maybe. Whenever I get up there and I get pissed off with being here, I'll just figure it out and get on it. So yeah, that's my plan, in as much as it is kind of a plan. And yeah, I think I'm done spending 2 days in places. I might do it once more if I'm seeing a bunch of Normandy stuff. But yeah, aside from that, it's just kind of seeing stuff and then heading home when I want to head home, when I feel like I'm when I feel like the trip is over, rather than because I get a big fucking night terror about like, oh, I need to go home. So yeah, cool beans. Alright, let's see what else we see today, if anything. Yeah, I mean, as roads go, this is okay. It's middling. Lots of things to look at and little towns to go through and that kind of thing. It's a different kind of a bike's experience. And after a couple of weeks of mountain passes, it's not a bad change. I wouldn't like to be wanting to get anywhere quickly, but this is alright.